Hey everyone, I'm Aishwarya Mahapatra and welcome back to my channel. The internship and placement seasons are just around the corner, and I'm sure a lot of you have already started giving interviews. Also, given the COVID situation under control, most of the companies have actually switched back to taking offline or face-to-face interviews. I know most of you have questions like, what are the best practices to follow to ace an interview? And today in this video, I am going to discuss something on the same lines. So we are going to be discussing what are the mistakes did I make which got me rejected of companies, and what are the things I did correctly which got me through the interviews. So without any further ado, let's get started. So I have divided this video into 3 phases. The first is the pre-work that you need to do before the interviews. The second is the things you need to take care of during the interviews. And finally, a bonus tip that you should be doing after every interview. So the first step is reading the job description properly. In the job description, generally it's mentioned that what are the skills they're expecting from the candidate, what is going to be your day-to-day responsibilities, and a lot more things. So once you go through the job description, you'll be better able to understand that whether you are a good fit for the role or not, and only then will you be applying. Also, when you go through the job description, you can tweak your resume subjective to the role, because of course only then will you be able to get your resume shortlisted, right? Now, in case you want to know what are the best practices for having a perfect resume, you can check out one of my previous videos wherein I talked about all these things. So yeah, finally the conclusion is no bargain when it comes to reading the job description thoroughly. The second tip is to go through interview experiences. In fact, as many interview experiences as you can. Because this will give you a fair idea of what kind of questions can you actually expect during the interviews, how the flow of the interview can be, and a lot more things. It's going to give you a lot of confidence when you are going to actually sit for the interviews. So you can check out, different websites for reading the interview experiences. It can be GFG, it can be LeetCode, it can be Glassdoor, but make sure that you go through at least 40 to 50 interview experiences to actually get a fair idea of what you can expect during the interviews. The third tip is to prepare your project description. Project descriptions are really crucial for tech interviews because of course they are looking for a candidate with certain set of skills, and you can prove that through your project. However, there are a lot of candidates who are not quite sure of how to explain their project in the best way possible. In case you're also one of them, I made one video earlier wherein I've told you everything about how to step-by-step explain your project and highlight the skills you actually want to highlight. So you can go and definitely have a look at it. But yeah, don't miss to create and write down a good project description before you appear for the interview. The fourth tip is to read about the company very well. Because that makes sense, right? If you are going to appear for the interview of a company, that means you're willing to work for that company. And in case you don't know about it, it completely doesn't make sense. So in case the interviewer or the HR asks you, what do you know about the company? How does it make money? And you don't give them a satisfactory answer, they are going to be very disappointed. So once again, try to read through well about the company and every aspect of it, especially how your role is going to help the company grow. So congratulations, you have done all the pre-work that you require to do before the interviews. Now the second phase starts. That is the things that you should take care of during the interviews. The first of it is to stay confident and stay calm. So the next step is to listen to the questions properly during the interviews. What generally ends up happening is sometimes we have done a similar question earlier, and when the interviewer asks the question, you kind of assume, oh, this is the same question, I've done it earlier. But what if the interviewer has actually tweaked the question to something else And before even listening to the question properly, you directly dive into the solution. That is a very big mistake. And I have done it myself. That was kind of one of the reasons why I got rejected from Goldman Sachs once earlier. And I have also shared that rejection experience of mine in one of my previous videos, so you can definitely go and have a look at that. But remember to listen to the interviewer very carefully. The next very important tip is to communicate properly. In the corporate world, you generally have a lot of meetings. You make a lot of decisions along with your team members. And in all those meetings, you are expected to communicate your ideas, your solutions very properly. During interviews also, the interviewer tries to assess how well are you able to explain your solution to the interviewer. So that's why I would suggest you to have a lot of mock interviews, and during that definitely focus on your communication skills. So now you are done with the interviews. Somehow you smoothly survived the interview. Now what? Worried about the results? Of course, that's understandable. But I would suggest you to analyze the whole performance of your interview. Just make notes on what are the things you did right and what could have gone better. This will definitely help you improve in the further interviews. Also, one more thing. In case you don't get selected, don't be disheartened. Because since you have now analyzed your performance, you know what are the mistakes you did. Always consider the interviews in which you got rejected as mock interviews. Because the mistakes you made in those interviews are definitely going to help you get your final offer. So don't be disheartened, don't stop giving interviews, and that's my bonus tip. Never give up. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Till then, I'll meet you in the next video. Bye-bye.